This video is all about finding slope. And today we're going to be finding slope in 4 different ways, and this is going to be on our next leverage target quiz. So the first way you're going to need to know how to find slope is from an equation. The second way is from a graph. The third way is from a table. And the fourth and final way is from 2 coordinate points. So just a little review. With equations, we've been talking about linear equations in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is our growth, which is also our slope, and b is our y-intercept, or our starting point, as we have referred to it. So if we take a look at these 3 equations, basically all you are trying to do is find where m is. So looking at the number that's being multiplied by x, in this case 7, so our slope is 7. In the case of our second equation, y equals 5 minus 4x, the number being multiplied by x is 4, and the sign in front of it is negative, so our slope is negative 4. And the number being multiplied by x is negative 1/3. So this is probably the simplest of our 4 different ways of finding slope. So the next way we're going to go over is from a graph. So we have change in y over change in x, and we've talked a little bit about this. And when we have done slope from a graph, we have found our growth triangle, so we're going to do that again. I'm going to use these dotted lines to make my growth triangle. And when I do that, I want to make sure that I'm using points that are exactly on the line. So like right here at -1, 2, that hits it exactly on the line, and then going straight up to this point here. Then we want to go ahead and find the length of those. So from here to here, we've gone from 0 to -1. And actually, we want to read from right to left, left to right, like we would a book. So this is going to be going that way, and we are going from -1 to 0, so we're really adding 1. And from here to here, or here to here, we're really going up from 2 to 4, which is 2. So again, we have our change in y over our change in x. And our change in y, so our vertical change, is that 2. And our change in x, or our horizontal change, is 1. So our slope is 2. Also, when we're looking at our line, if it's going up to the left, or I'm sorry, up to the right, so always in that direction, if it's going that way, it's going to be positive, and if it's going down to the right, it's going to be negative, just kind of to keep in general. Then we have our next one. So again, I'm going to use this little dotted line to show, and we're going to find 2 spots, and it really doesn't matter what 2 points you pick on the line. If I pick from here to here and here to here, or if I pick that triangle there, or I could do that one. It doesn't matter which growth triangle you pick, it's just all simplifying later. So I'm just going to look at this big one right here, and I'm looking, and it's going down from 3 to 2, so it's going down 1. And now this one, it's going from 0 to 2, so over 2. Again, we're talking change in y over change in x. So we have our change in y, which is -1, change in x, our horizontal change 2, so our slope is -1/2. And just really quickly, I also want to show you what we've called our slope triangle or slope tree. And our slope tree looks like this. Make this a little bigger. There we go. So this line right here is a line that's going up to the right. So this one is our positive slope. And then from here to here is our negative slope. Okay, and then this line going this way, 0 or no slope. And then if it is straight up and down, we have an undefined. So that is our undefined slope. So we will talk about those more, but just kind of in general to keep in mind, if it is straight across like that, it's 0, straight up and down is undefined. Okay, our third way is from a table. Again, we have change in y over change in x. So looking at a table here, again, doesn't matter which 2 points you choose as long as you're using corresponding points. So I could pick from 1 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 to 4, 2 to 5. It doesn't matter as long as I'm using then those same points in the y. So I'm just going to go 1 to 2 and 3 to 5. So going from 1 to 2, I'm adding 1, and going from 3 to 5, I'm adding 2. Change in y over change in x. We have our change in y, which is 2, over our change in x, which is 1. So our slope is 2. And a different orientation of the table, x on top, y on bottom. So I'm going to go from negative 3 to 0, and notice that these are not in line. Doesn't matter. And from 10 to 4. So from negative 3 to 0, we're going up 3. We're adding 3. And going from 10 to 4, we're going down 6. So our change in y is negative 6. And our change in x is 3. So our slope is negative 2. Okay, so that's our third way. Our fourth way is from 2 coordinate points. Now, there's a formula for this, but in the past I have found this way just a little bit easier and just kind of a better way to visualize it. So I'm going to actually go ahead and start by plotting these points. So we have negative 1, 4, so going over 1, up 4, there's my first point. And then we have positive 3, so over 3, up 2. So finding our slope, again, we're going to kind of use our slope tree method. You can picture a line going through those 2 points. So I'm going to do this. And then we're going to look, and if it actually helps, you can make that line. Well, that's not perfect, but Notice it's going down to the right, so our slope is going to be negative. So I'm looking here, and this is going from 4 down to 2, so this is going down 2, and this is going from 1 to 3, I'm sorry, negative 1 to 3, so going up 4. So we have our change in y, which is negative 2 over 4, which is equal to negative 1. So there's my slope. And I do want you to simplify. Don't give me a slope of negative 2 over 4, knowing that that is actually equal to negative 1/2. And here's another one. We have the point 0.53. So here's 0.5 up 3. And then we have negative 2.5, 1, negative 1. So if I did a line, it would be going up to the right, so my slope is going to be positive. And I'm going to make my slope triangle, and there we go. So I'm going from negative 3 to 0.5. So I'm going 3.5 in the x direction, and I'm going from negative 1 to 3, so up 4. And here we have our change in y over 3.5. Now this one doesn't simplify very nicely, but you could say that this is equal to 1, and that's kind of silly. Let's just leave it as 4 over 3.5. You could give me a decimal if you would like to. You could actually use division to find this, but this would work as well. So those are the 4 ways. This is going to be on our next leverage target quiz, so make sure that you go back and watch parts of the video if you need to.